Good morning, and thank you for joining Coffee and Convo Live with RE and Chosen.
Hey, good morning, Grand Rising, all of that good stuff. Did y'all sleep good last night? Did y'all have your little Saturday traditions? You know what I'm saying? It's Sunday morning, man. It's time to get into it. If y'all read the posts, y'all already know what we finna talk about, man. Yeah, we finna get
All
ready to get
right.
it. Y'all got y'all coffee? I hope y'all got y'all
See,
coffee.
I feel bad about that
Nah,
right
don't
now.
worry about it. See, I got you. I
I
got you.
I feel so bad about that right now. I don't have my coffee. I
No,
want
you
my
good.
coffee.
Your coffee on the way. You know what I'm saying? But we good. We you know what I'm saying? We gonna make it through this like we always do. Huh.
All right. So, if you didn't see the post, today's topic is shortchanging the one you with.
Because
What's
you
the second
can't be
part?
with the one you want. I want y'all
Wow.
to listen to that real clear because it's not saying it's not a shade thing, but it's something that most people don't look at. I'm gonna say it one more time. Shortchanging the
Shortchanging the
one you
one you
with.
with.
Because you can't be with the one you want.
All right. So,
Mm, mm, mm.
so if you missed last week's episode, we're going to do a recap and then we're going to get into today's topic. So
Yep.
last week episode was part 2 of standards and boundaries, which indeed ties into this week's topic. All right. Chosen, recap please.
All right. So y'all missed last week. Y'all can still go back on the page and y'all can still look at what transpired last week. But like she said, last week was part two of standards and boundaries, the importance of having standards and boundaries. You want to make sure you got your standards so that you just don't allow anything. You want to be able to build that, and those boundaries help you build that self-respect that everybody needs when you're dealing with any situation. So, we talked about the biggest part that I think that episode was talking about the relationships. We can't deny the fact that relationships is the one thing that make the world go round. And if you are on Facebook, any social media platform, the post that I know that I see that gain the most attention and attraction is when people talk about their relationships and stuff like that, and stuff, different things, and you see a lot of I want this and you see a lot of I want that, and then you have to ask yourself, man, I wonder what kind of standards and boundaries do these people have? Are they putting their standards, or do they have their standards geared towards the right priorities? Do they have their boundaries too low? You know what I'm saying? Or they boundaries, they walls not strong enough so anything can break in? Are they falling for that Trojan horse tactic? You know what I'm
Trojan
saying?
horse.
As you falling for the Trojan horse, you just letting anything in, and when you let it in, then that other stuff come out because of that one thing that you didn't see winds up being inside your stronghold. So it was important to have standards because it's like, man, I'm not gonna stand for that. You in a relationship, you want to be monogamous, but want to date other people. You don't see no
Mm,
point in it. If that's your standard to say that's not what I'm trying to do, then you have every right to say, hey, this is not the relationship for me. You go on this job. Job is you go on this job, and job wants you to do something that you feel like is beneath you.
mm,
If that goes against your standard, you have the right to say, man, you know what, I'm not going to take this job, no matter
mm.
how bad I need it. Some people's standards and they resolve is higher than others, and some is low. But it is important to have some standard, and that's what we was talking about last week. Capisce?
He said capiche. All right. So this week, when we say shortchanging the one you with because you can't be with the one you love, what we're saying is basically don't jump in a relationship with someone that, one, doesn't meet your standards, and two, don't get into a new relationship if you're still pining behind your ex.
Yeah.
That's basically what we're talking about today. Moving on into a relationship before you're really ready.
hmm Because what
Okay.
you're gonna wind up doing is
Messing up both of you.
messing both of y'all up, and you shortchanging the
Yes,
person that you
you're
with.
shortchanging them. You're giving them a poor aspect of what to expect out there. You know what really is out there for them, and you're wasting time. You're holding them up for being where they need to be, and you from getting where you need to be. This is really about healing and honesty.
Hmm.
Okay.
That's it.
So
I
if you
agree.
notice, we don't have FD with us today. Unfortunately, FD is sick, and we look forward to all his head nodding, and I disagree or I agrees. But for this one, what we're going to do right here is we're going to take right now Chosen's point of view of a male being in a relationship he's really not ready for.
Okay. If you are from a male's point of view and you being in a relationship that you're really not ready for, you should be grown enough. You should be grown enough to know that you're about to waste somebody's time, but you can get selfish. You can be
Mm,
selfish, and let's be honest, no one really wants to be alone. Like especially if they're coming out of something that was damaging, because we go through that same thing too.
mm-hmm.
You think about it, you get a hold of somebody that really wants to give you their all, but deep down inside, you know that it could be, you know, and I mean, I'll change this little narrative a little bit, Ari. Not just a
Okay,
male point of view, but
not
just
a
a point
male.
of view, not just a male's point of view, because this happens in both. You know what I'm saying? Because a male or a female could have a rebound effect
I
in
mean,
getting into, yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
disagreeing on that, but I
yeah.
wanted you to speak on from the male's perspective, because for a woman, I take that back. Here's the saying: the best way to get over another
Is to get
is to
under
get under another.
somebody else. Yeah, because see, both. I mean, both do that. You know what
Both
I'm
do
saying?
that.
Both do that. I
Both
mean,
do that.
uh, 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 Solange, she said it in one of her songs, man. Like,
Really?
yeah, she said it when she was like, she was like, I sexed it away,
Oh
I
yeah, I
sexed
know
it
that song.
away. You
Yeah,
know what
I
I'm
know
saying?
that song. I know that
Yeah. So so it's not, that's what. But I will say this from a male's perspective. Um, it's a few things that go into that because some males, such as myself,
song.
we look at ourselves as conquerors.
Okay.
Okay, and what I mean by that is we conquer certain things on a day-to-day basis outside of outside of relationships. So we want to make sure that our kingdom is in order. So like I guess you go from one aspect to a relationship, you get into something that you ain't ready for. What's gonna bring calamity is if you don't have yourself together and you trying to put your kingdom together and you trying to fulfill these carnal needs or these needs that that only a woman can or a mate
Mm-hmm.
can fulfill, and now you playing both hands and it goes against what you shortchanging it because you shortchanging her emotionally and physically. Because if you still trying to get your stuff together, you ain't got that time that's probably needed in that relationship. And then if you and like you said earlier, like if you coming out of a relationship trying to get
Mm.
into another one, you still shortchanging that person too because you might have it in the back of your head that yeah, I still ain't there, but how in the world am I gonna get there if I never go to this step right here? And so, at the end of the day, it's almost like you have to really check yourself, and you got a lot of things to fight against. As a male, you got a lot of things to fight against. Like man, what if it's just fun or I need this. That other person might not need that, but that person might be more serious than you are in that relationship, and you not giving them they all. And it's hard for and it's hard for well, I don't know how it is now, but it used to be because I see a
Because
lot
now
of different things.
everybody,
Because now it's like
man,
for a man to give a woman his all, that was like highlight. A woman she took it to heart if you didn't give her your, if
I
you as
can
a
speak
man,
on that.
you
Yes,
didn't
that's
give a
true.
woman your all, that's like heartbreaking, like
It
to
is.
that woman. It's crushing.
It is.
Nowadays, I don't know what y'all on, but we don't get y'all all. It's like, okay, fine, on to the next. You know what I'm saying? But the era you and I grew up in, RE, it was like that. We had the music. As far as a man, we had the music that actually coached us on how to navigate through relationships.
That's
And
interesting because a lot of music now
mm-mm.
don't do that. It's more bedroom boom, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's mostly the music that's out there now. It's like a relationship is really all about what happens in the bedroom. They're missing the aspect of how to grow
Mm-hmm.
together. Growing is more than just how many we can bust off in a night or how long we went, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As a woman, being good morning, Jarrell.
There you go.
Jarrell has a comment. A lot of times people are learning to operate in brokenness instead of healing. And that is absolutely true. It's like a shattered glass you didn't try to glue back together. And
Mm-hmm.
even every time you look in it, you still see the cracks. You learn to deal with it instead of just going to go buy you a new one.
It's
I
it's
understand.
it's it's two things that I want to add to that.
Okay.
No way, form, or fashion am I disagreeing with that, but I want to add to that. Uh, I actually wrote a song called "Scars of Love." After you've healed after you can take that same glass that got broke and you put
Mhm.
it together, and you can either like you said, you can throw it away, or you can discard it and you just won't look at it the same, or you can use that same glass and you see them scars and you can look at the fact that, hey, this is when it was going through, this is what it survived. Like, I
You
survived
can look
this.
at it that
Yes,
way.
I still have those scars, but I survived, and it's like a reminder of what to look out for next time. It's like, now I see the signs on how this calamity can go. Now I know how to avert that calamity.
I have a
That's one
question
thing
on
I can
that.
say.
I have a question on that.
I have an
When
answer.
we say when we say looking for how we talk about past relationships and the red flags we've seen, in a past relationship,
Yeah.
you know how easy it is to bring those same things into your new relationship and misconstrue these actions. How do we get beyond that?
Well, again, it goes to soul searching. It goes to knowing thyself. It goes to
But is
saying,
it?
what do,
But I guess what my thing is, let's just say the issue of adultery, cheating, and all of that. Just because one person may have flocked over you
all right, okay.
royally, royally, now we go on a defense and look for any and every twitch this next person make that can fall into that category. You understand what
I know what you said, but what I'm saying, we had teaching, man. Like, we got teaching. You have to adhere to that teaching. Like, again, you know me, I'm a musician.
I'm?
I
Yes,
love music. Lenny Williams taught us how to handle that.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, cause I love
Lenny
you.
Williams taught us how to handle that.
Cause
He
I
went
love
through
you.
the worst. This dude was like, he watched TV till TV went off. Didn't want to play his records no more. He went to her house, another car was there. He was done. But at the
Yeah,
end, but when you listen to what he's saying, he said he
somebody else
talking to
came
the
in.
he talking to the other person that came in
Yeah,
that healed him. He ain't forget about them scars. Them scars were still there because he was able to talk about what he had been through and how he got to where he is. It's the same thing as if you go and I gotta rip it to the scripture a little bit. If you look at the story of the Joseph, what all did
okay.
Joseph go through? Man, this
Well, he
dude, well, he got sent to prison. He
prison,
was
slavery.
enslaved, and
Mhm.
this was by his brothers and his
His brothers.
family, and all
Mhm.
of these people, and they flocked over this dude. And at the end of it all, he had, at the end of it all, his blessings were so abundant that he pretty much forgot about what he had went through, and he was so they were so abundant. He even gave them a little like, I'm good now.
Right. Good
So you know
morning,
what I'm
Duchess.
saying?
We
Was that?
have good morning, Duchess. Thank you for joining Coffee and Convo.
Hey, good morning, good morning. Yeah, so you know when you look at stuff like that, it's like you have, like I said, you have that teaching, man. When you got that teaching, you
So
either gonna
that's
do
where that
one or two
forgive and
things.
forget comes into play.
Yes, because we sit up and we talk about forgive and forget. A friend of mine asked me yesterday, and she was like, "How does that work?" I said, "Forgive and forget works. Forgive and forget works a couple of different ways, and
Hmm.
I don't think neither way is wrong. So, like, you can forgive because number one, your forgiveness is for you.
Forgiveness is, yeah, it's
Yeah,
for you. It's
forgiveness
not
is
for
for
the other
you. You
person.
have to do this first. Forgiveness is for you. And I don't know if y'all seen that post that I put up. Is a post that I put up, and I said, apologize and ask your spirit for forgiveness for not listening to it, and
It,
then forgive yourself and move on
yeah.
and move forward.
Now,
Because
didn't
you
we
have
do a show about forgiveness?
that was like what, the second one?
The second, I think that was our second episode about
Yeah.
forgiveness. Because if you don't forgive yourself, you dragging your own ball and chain. It's not hurting the next
Now
person.
I'm telling you, you over here looking like Jacob Marley off the Christmas Carol with the chains and the heavy things trying to, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
anyway,
So you have to forgive.
you gotta forgive, and you have to be so what I was gonna say was the forgiveness part. Neither one of these are wrong. First of all, you forgive yourself. Then you forgive the person for the wrong that was done to you.
Mhm.
Now, when we go to the forget part, now mind you, neither one is wrong. You can you can forget that. You can start forgetting that pain because you want to start trying to focus on the lesson. If you focus on the lesson and
The
more
more
of the
forgiveness,
pain,
though, but as you forgive, you will start healing.
yes. And so when you have
So
when you
that pain
have
will
that,
let.
right. So you can do that, or one of my favorite takes on the forgive and forget is I can forgive you, and then I can also forget you. Cause it ain't nothing wrong with having an A1 cutoff game. And it's easy to cut people off when they gave you the scissors. So it's like that. So tying that whole ball up together, do we have any comments? Is
Oh,
anybody else in here? Let me see. Let me
not since Duchess said, come on. I think she was listening to the Joseph story
Okay.
when she said that.
Let me get in here. I need to get in here and see because I didn't get a chance to see exactly what it is that. Let me look a little bit at these comments, and I'm
Okay,
finna get
so
back on the. I'm gonna pull it up real quick so I can see
shortchanging the
what you
one
see.
you're with for the because you can't be with the one you love.
Oh, that's the
Excuse me,
pen
yeah,
dragon
excuse
right
me.
there. Good
Coffee,
morning.
coffee, coffee.
Yeah,
Thank you, thank you.
thank you, thank you. So to tie all of that in, that shortchanging the one that you with, shortchanging the one that you with, because you
Yes.
can't be with the one that you want.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna start with. I'm gonna start with this attraction thing, okay? Because that's usually where relationships start at. I'm gonna start with this attraction. The physical attraction is usually the first thing that most people get a hold to. And so I think I made this other comment talking about what good is being attractive if I'm not attracted to the one I'm trying to attract.
There are some people out there that they have it. There's nothing wrong with the wish list and dreaming and everything, but I've actually ran into some people that have a type that they want to attract. When you pretty much can listen to this type and be like, dude, they really out of your league.
Yeah.
How do you
Yeah,
intend
like how do you
on
intend
it?
on doing this? Like, okay, but this is what
Yeah.
I want. Like, this is what I want. And I'm gonna try my best to get this and this and this. You want these people to see you, and then you get it, you might go as far like what I used to call the friend crate. You know how we
Mm-hmm.
always talk about the friend crate. So you get into that friend crate and you might play your position very well. Some people that use that as a defense mechanism to say I'm just trying to be nice and we
Mm-hmm.
just cool. And some people just some people hope that once you get in that friend crate, the friend zone, they hope that okay, you just gonna move
Eventually,
on and you just
yeah.
gonna flop. It's gonna flop. But then you got that one person like me. You know what I'm saying? If you put me in the friend crate, I'm gonna play my position because I didn't really approach you I didn't approach you for what you think I did. If I sit up and said I want to get to know you, that's exactly what it is that I said that I want to do. So
You
I'm
have to
not going
be
to sit up
friends
here and tell
first.
you, see, yeah. So many, not a lot of people understand that concept.
Mhm.
And like we had a show about this too,
We had a
and we
show about
talked
this as
about
well.
we doing it wrong. We did it backwards, and that's why you
Mhm.
have so many broken relationships, and you have so many broken hearts, and so many people talking about they don't trust this person, and my trust issues with this. So to
That
tie
goes
all
back to
that
the
up,
unforgiveness, though.
yes, it does.
Okay.
So to tie that into what we talking about today, shortchanging the one that you with, because you can't be with the one that you want, is because now you just sit up here and you done form this friendship, and that other person that probably is really interested in you, they might have hopes
Hmm.
and dreams, and they sit up and they watch you go through this stuff, and then when you wind up going through some stuff, some bad things, and you start realizing that the person that really, really wanted to holler at you and wanted to really kick it with you, they was always there. So sometimes when people realize that, you get that phone call at 2 in the morning.
I'm
What you
sorry.
doing? I needed to
You-
tell you something. What? And it just hit me. Every time I was on my, every time I had my head and my shoulders and tears fell down. You was always
you were
there to
there.
listen. You was
Hmm.
always here, and I needed something to eat. You was there, and you never
You were
asked me for
there.
anything. You wasn't
You were
trying to
there.
get in my drawers, and you was there. And it dawned on me, you're the one. Okay, so that person. So look. So that look.
You
So
know
that
why I'm
person.
laughing,
I
right?
know. So that person that you just got through telling that to, they might have had this one thing going on because you was the one that they really, really wanted. But they really didn't see. They were like, okay, I see what you're saying. We just cool. It ain't no compatibility. We ain't messing. We ain't this. So then you get into that person might wind up getting into a relationship with somebody that kind of is like cool, but at the same time, it's like they didn't really meet everything, but the
They
timing
settled,
was right, and they
and the
pretty much
timing
was
was
like,
right.
yeah, it was
Yep.
cool. I don't want to be alone, and I don't this and
Hmm.
this person is this, and so it's like now, dang, what have I been doing now? If your heartstrings are still like you still undecisive and stuff like that, here you go with the shortchanging. You know what I'm saying? You can sit up here and not give somebody that you're all because you reserving a space for somebody that you really want. And that's bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you shortchanging people for somebody that probably just really deserve it, and
As we
some people
started
make that
out,
mistake.
this topic, we were talking about being heartbroken and moving on before you're ready. You know, we've all had scars, you know, been scarred from a past relationship. And when you move on to your next, I understand we all try to do it different because we don't want to fall into the same traps that we have before. So when we get to talking about the shortchanging, you know, we do go in with different, let's say, rules. You know,
Yeah,
we
you
start
go in with
changing
different
things.
rules and
Yeah, we start changing things up that are out of our character, where we
hmm
usually don't operate.
and that's
Uh,
when you start messing with them standards. The standards build character. If you go outside of those that character, you compromising them standards, man. So you really don't
yeah,
want to do that.
yeah, we really don't, because
You
at the
really
end
don't
of the
want to
day,
do that.
it's gonna come back and bite you in your behind. And then you find
Hmm
yourself constantly bending and breaking your own rules, your own boundaries, your own standards to try to make something fit that
Hey,
you
hey, hey,
wouldn't
hey.
you wasn't ready for in the beginning.
And then you know what that does? You know how everybody says, and this is true, because I've even listened to this radio show, and certain radio show said this, and that's how you wind up losing yourself in a relationship. There is a certain point of losing yourself in a relationship
That is
because
true.
whenever you are with somebody, you, your goal with that person, the one thing that you want to do with that person, especially when you love them, is you want to grow with them. And
And in
so
order to grow with them, you got to make sure that you're putting in the right amount of
that's
time,
right, the
you
right amount
know,
of time.
and time not just meaning I'm looking at you, you looking at me. That means conversation. That means a little hand touching. That means getting out together. I don't care if it's a walk in the park or walk in a parking lot, sitting in the car.
Hmm
I don't care. You have to put in that work.
So,
It's not just gonna boof,
yes,
you
now go
know.
ahead. So that being said, those are the things that you want to give the person that you want. That's what you want to
We
give
have a
to the
couple of
person that you want.
comments.
Okay.
Okay, so we have Jarrell. Beware of people who keep hiring youth, build them when they're under construction. You might hinder them from realizing the issues in the foundation simply because you are a good builder. That, I can really agree with that. When you pour so much into someone, positive, constantly pouring and everything, you are right. They're not learning on their own. They're becoming what's the word I want to use? God darn it, it didn't escape me. You take that. We got another comment here. Or Shell
Rochelle.
said, yeah, tis. I've come across many people throughout my life that were clearly shortchanging their significant others. It's heartbreaking to see what the people involved cannot seem to see. That's why we talk about this
That
way.
would hit you. Okay, yeah. So you know how we always talk. Let me analyze my boys real quick.
Yeah,
You might
go.
hinder them from
Because
realizing
I
the
got
issues in the foundation. Is simply
hit with
beware
that
of
one.
people who keep hiring youth. Build them, hiring you. Build them when they're under construction. Mm, mm. Right here. I
I
think.
told you he really hit me with that one.
Yeah,
You
yeah. I
have people
think.
out there
I
that
mean
nurture
that right there goes. I think that
dependent.
goes hand.
That's
Huh?
what that's what I wanted to say because they become dependent on that person. You start
Yeah.
pouring so much into that person that they don't know how to walk on their
On
own.
their own. Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Ooh wee. He did it for me on that one. He
That's tabernacle right there, man. And with Shell, yes, yes,
There are
yes.
a lot of people out there and they don't realize that they're not giving their all in the relationship
Yep.
because
Become
they're still
dependent.
actually holding on to a past relationship
That's it. So
or a fear of repeating what happened in that past relationship. And that's a lot of us out here. That's why I say when you move into something new, you start breaking your own rules to try to make
hmm
something fit because now you're stepping outside of your character of who you really are,
hmm
you know, or or you're running into your turtle shell
Yep.
and
Yep.
just dealing, I'm just dealing. It's
Yep.
every day, I'm gonna do me, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and either you rock with me or you don't.
Yeah. So you get to that point too, and you just have to really be aware of how you're operating whenever you're dealing with another person. You just really have to be true to yourself, man. Like, do I need to be dealing with this? Do I've had instances, man, where it was I can't where they was upfront. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Hmm.
I can't do this because if I did this, then I wouldn't. Then if I did this, then I wouldn't be right with myself, and it's not fair to you. I've had that. You know
I've
what I'm
had
saying?
that too. I've had
And
that
when people
experience.
and when people do that type of thing, to me, that gains them respect with me because you're not trying to do something because you feel like you want it. To me, like that's selfish. Or you get into something and you
Hmm.
know that you ain't really ready for it, but you feel like it's a means to an end to like end something to help close the door
Hmm.
or hide or help you heal from that hurt. You know, like you hear hurt. Some people say hurt people hurt people.
Yeah,
You
hurt
know what I'm
people.
saying? So it's like, and so I say this too. I get it. I understand. Nobody wants to be alone. Nope. Everybody wants to have somebody to love, and self-love is important, but self-love only gets you so far
But in order to
because if
really
you
have someone that loves you for who you are, you have to put it all out there,
boom, we
flaws
did a
and
show
all.
about that. We did a show about that too. We was talking about intentional and
And
unintentional
unintentional
deception.
deception. Yeah.
And if you deceive yourself of who you are, or even
Yeah.
if you take everything that you are, people don't meet you in your base form, then that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's another way that people shortchange people. So to hit the meat of it, go ahead. What happened? What you see?
Go ahead. It's not what I see, it's just the things that I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Okay.
Because we're talking about, being with someone else, someone that you love, if you're still in love from a past relationship, or if you see somebody out there that you have interest in, but you're in a relationship and you already see this is not cohesive
Yeah.
and you're ready to move on. So now you're nitpicking and pulling strings and stuff to make it unravel so you can move on. Quality time
Yeah.
is
Quality
another
time.
way
Yeah.
that you shortchange the one you with
Yeah.
because
Y'all remember that? Yeah, because you remember, like, once again, I will say it again. We had music.
Mm-hmm.
Your
We
mind
had
is here with me. No, your
your
body
body
is
is here
here
with
with
me,
me,
but your mind is
but
on the
your
other side of
mind
town.
is on the other side of town. You know what I'm saying? We
Mm-hmm.
had Testament, man. You know what I'm saying? That was stuff that helped us foresee things. So you sit up there and say that you kicking it with somebody or whatever, and they they're just there. You're something for them to do right now.
I agree, Jarrell. I really, really, really agree.
What do you
I,
say? I ain't even
some
get to see
people
it.
just don't recognize they have faulty programming. I agree 100%.
So people just don't recognize yeah, and you know what? But see, that goes right back to what we always say. It's
Know
you
thyself.
have to know thyself. If you
You have to know
know
yourself.
that you have to study to show thyself approved. So study yourself. Find out what it is that's about you. Why does this keep happening? What it is that I need to improve on. Now, improving doesn't mean, um, okay, improving ain't don't mean that you're not being yourself. It's that you're looking within yourself to see what are the areas that you need
That
to
you can
improve
work
so that
on.
you can be
Yeah.
the best version of
Version of
yourself.
you.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So you have to be real with yourself. And if you know you got this faulty programming, then that you need to fix, then hey, you might need to get that help, or you might need to sit around some people that you can talk to. And sometimes I think too, people have things on the inside of them. Go ahead.
That they don't share. That they
Yeah, they
don't
got things on the inside of them that they don't share, and they feel like, and they don't know that. Even if they don't know that, maybe if I talk about this, it's not.
somebody else may be feeling the same way, or
Yeah,
somebody else may have gone through it and can assist you in elevating from that level.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I had a thought there and I missed it. I missed it. It'll
Train of
come
thought
right
left the
back.
station.
It sure did.
It happens.
I told
Yeah,
you. I told you when we started this morning. Today has been a day. I've
yeah, man. But it's all
had a
good because it's
full
gonna
day
be a
already.
beautiful day. But yeah, so all of that culminates with you shortchanging the one you with because you can't be with the one you want. And sometimes, that's like, I mean, I can't really say it. I can't make it any more
You can't
simpler.
make it
Like,
any clearer,
I
but
can't
I mean,
make it any more simpler. Like, you're not going to, I don't care what it is, man. You're not going to give your all whenever it's the person. Like, you can get 50 million compliments a day, but if it
okay,
ain't from the person that you want it from, it's like, thanks. Oh, that's sweet. Thank you. Okay.
okay. I'm gonna let you take this from Jarrell because I understand what he's saying, but at the same time,
Let me read that. He
yeah.
said, knowing yourself by yourself will only increase your delusion.
See,
You
stop
have
right
to
there.
learn. Okay.
Let's stop right there.
Okay, Jarrell.
Because that,
Me and you, we always congruent on some stuff. Sometimes you need isolation. Sometimes you
sometimes we
need
do.
seclusion
And the reason,
because,
but hold on.
mhm,
I get what he's saying, but
yeah,
at the same time, being by yourself is going to help you pull back those bandages, help you knock down some walls, and face your own demons. Now, if you've been by yourself and all you're doing is hiding, like I said, running into that turtle shell, that woe is me phase, you're not meeting the level of what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word? Self-realization
yeah,
that you
self-realization.
need.
Because you gotta have it. And I'm gonna tell you one of the biggest reasons why I say that's the only thing that now that's not totally wrong because if you're not in tune with your spirit,
Mm-hmm.
then you'll listen to anything and everything that's around. But I speak for myself and I speak for those that feel like they are in tune with their spirit. Whenever you by yourself, to me, I notice when I'm by myself, that's when I hear God the loudest. You know what I'm saying? And when I say certain things, now you do hear negativity as well, because it's like just like scripture says, every time I try to do good, evil's always present or whatever. So, you do get to that point to where it's like, dang, I'm by myself. The positive about that is this. Okay, I can go do this. I ain't got to answer to this. I can go take care of this. Oh, I need to do this. I knew I needed to do this. Now's the better time. Or you can get into the other part of your mind where it tells you, man, I'm just gonna lash
I
out at the
got you,
person
Jarrell.
that did this, and You know, I'm just gonna lash out at the person that did this. And when you start doing that, then the spirit comes right back on you and tells you, hey, ask you, hey, how is that benefiting you right now? And I get it. Sometimes you do need to be around those, you know, some of your friends and
Mm-hmm.
recognizing the people that was there. But then the people that was there, they're either gonna, the way you recognize that too, they either gonna be thinking that some of the people are gonna be there to check on you, and some people are gonna be there to check to
And
see
that's his
what you
second
doing.
part. That's his
Yeah.
second part. He said, read the second part to get it
hmm
fully.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
getting to that. I did. I was
Yeah.
getting to that.
But
See,
I really wanted to address the first part because I understand, but the delusion part, but that's when you're running into your turtle shell. You
hmm
know, that's when you're pouring more of your woe is me, you know, kind of
you
mentality
having
out
a pity
there and
party.
pity party, and you're letting everybody and they mama and they cousin to fill you up with all the negatives, you know. And
Yeah.
I gotta admit, we've all fallen victim to, oh, you don't need this, go out and do this, you know. One of those people that say, the best way to get over is to, you
Get
know,
under.
get under.
But then
But
what happens if something negative come out of that? Like what you didn't want
exactly.
to happen come out of that. So those
Exactly. So
that
those
wasn't.
pieces of advice are not what we really need out here. So, like I said, we've all fallen victim to giving this bad advice out there.
Yeah,
And
once again we, you know, we still congruent. It's
yeah,
just
we
I had to
still
look. I'm like, when you, I just want to like take it further because you have to look at both sides of that because you can, yeah, you can, you know, you
you
can be
can.
delusional,
But
but at the
so
same
getting
time, you do need to.
understanding that the people that come in your life are either teachers or students. I
hmm
get what you're saying. Either they're there to teach you a lesson or they're there for you to teach them something.
Still, once again, another great comment.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you just, man, I really respect intelligent people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know why most of them are running and hiding.
But yeah. So you know, I know that it seems like okay, we touching the subject, we getting off the subject, we touching the subject, but I'm telling you, it's
It all goes
this is
hand in
how
hand.
it goes hand in hand
It all goes
because
hand in hand because it's
mm,
even for yourself. You know, shortchanging the one you with.
because you can't be
Talking
with the
about
one you
can't
want.
because you can't be with the one you want. It's also for yourself. You know,
Yeah, it's for
you
yourself.
it really is. You miss the mark on a lot of things when you're busy putting your energy into someone else. You
Yeah.
know,
I mean,
if
think
you're
about
really not ready for it, you can't fill a tank if you already half empty yourself.
that too. I mean, think about you ever had okay, I was in choir, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna use this as an example. I was in choir, and rest her soul, my high school choir director, she had like a catalog of songs. Some of
Okay.
those songs I ain't really care about. Some of those songs I loved. The songs that
Mm-hmm.
we cared about, I'd probably sing them, and all my energy ain't there, but I got through them.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, with that one song that she was ready to do, it's like you ready, you singing that mug to the highest of your energy, you know what I'm saying? You Kaioken times 20 on that bad boy, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, you just there. It's the same thing when you dealing with people, man. There's some people when
Mm-hmm.
your energy just ain't there, dog. Like you don't have that energy for them, like you just not gonna give them your all and you're shortchanging them. That person is it's not their fault that they're that song. It's not their fault that
No, it's not.
it's not their fault that they're the song that you really don't want to sing.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But in a way, it is kind of your responsibility to kind of make that known, like to
Hey,
be like,
I
hey
like
man, you
this
know what?
song. I can only
I
deal
like
with this
you.
song every once in a while.
It's just that it just doesn't do it for my energy. You know what I'm saying? My energy is not there. You know, you have people out there that's like that. You have people out there that's like you know, that want to stay away. Like Drew Hill, again, I go with music. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the songs that they had, I really respect alone. I'm gonna stay to myself so that no one else can find me. I'm gonna stay to myself uh, where there's no one else around me.
Jarrell has
Baby
another good one.
love, that's what I'm gonna do.
Jarrell has
Baby
another.
love, if I can't have you,
Jarrell
maybe
has.
I'm better off all alone. We had teachers. Let me get to Jarrell's comment real quick. Let me let me look at what my man said, babe. So he got we are them 4 words right there. We are tribal people. Build yourself alone is a fairly new idea for our people. I agree with that. You might
Mhm.
solidify your flaws because they don't bother you. Seclusion is a shelf itself.
You say seclusion is a shell.
Seclusion is a shelf itself. I mean, yeah, either way, you gonna put yourself on the shelf. Just seclusion is
You say
putting yourself
it
on the
is a
shelf.
shell
A
itself.
shell itself, yeah, is a shell itself. You go. I mean, I don't
You
agree,
know, I'm really letting
but
you run with this because
I mean, no, I'm sorry, I don't disagree, but I look at it like this: you choose lesser of two evils. Either like you gonna be in a shell where you can, you gonna be in a shell either way. You know what I'm saying? You can be in the shell of your true self, or you can be in the shell where you might have people having you think one thing that really ain't true because you only know yourself.
that's like going out with, well, I'm not even gonna say
I
going
get
out,
it. I get it
hanging
though.
with your friends, you're one person
Hmm.
with your friends. When you get alone, you're who you really want to be. Like just like
You
with
really
music.
are.
Yeah, when you with your friends, let's say you listen to a lot of hip hop music, hip
Yeah.
hop, drinking, dancing, loud, but you really don't like hip hop and you really don't care too much
You
to
really like
drink. And
jazz.
you really like jazz,
You really don't smoke.
you you really don't smoke
Here, take a load
kind
off.
of
It'll make you
stuff.
feel better.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? Those are two things. You either gonna be in the shell where you talk to yourself, or not really talk to yourself, where you like I mean I can't ignore it. You know, when you go to yourself, nobody I mean, at night when you go to yourself, you praying, that's you and the spirit. That's you and Yah. You know what I mean? You're never alone, but people are there
You
for a
brought up
reason.
we've mentioned our very first episode was
Hmm.
belief systems. Okay. So, and we bring up the spiritual aspect a lot in every topic because that's life. That's life. Period. You're
That's the
not going to
only
be able to
reason.
get.
That's the only reason why we talking.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, regardless, I mean, you know what I'm saying, and that's like, for my belief system, that's the only reason why why we exist. Something bigger is
Right.
is at play here. You know what I'm saying? So whether or not you call it whatever you call it, it's the reason why you're
And
here.
that's
You
how
know what
we
I'm saying? So
concluded the first episode. So that you have to have that in every relationship,
yeah.
every act of life. It's there. You can't get away from it.
You can't
So
deny it. You just have
you
to
can't
give it.
deny it.
You got to give it its just
You
deserves.
have to. Excuse me. So I just brought that up because again, even with your beliefs, if you're not spending time with it like you know you should, you're shortchanging yourself.
Yeah.
So
I
like I say, this
like
is very
I
important.
I like the first part of your comment, Jarrell. We are tribal people. Build yourself alone is a fairly new idea for our people. Yeah, I like that because I believe that we hit a part in our lives now that we actually finally know who we are versus when
You
we
think
did
so?
when we was younger.
You think
Yeah.
so?
Man, how many, okay, when we was younger, we was going to school and we was going to church with our families and all we knew was just us.
I
Like
agree,
we were
Jarrell.
just what's that?
He says maybe your idea of alone is too definite. Yeah. He said we can't forget that there are people that feel alone amongst the crowd. We need each other, and we touched on that in another
Yeah, we
episode.
sure did.
We
I don't disagree with that
I
either.
don't
We do.
either.
Yep.
We did touch on that because we do need people to grow, and that was the episode with Nation where we talked about the seven ships
That man said
in
make
this
a
journey of
conclusion.
life.
Right.
We know we need each other. When I say being alone, I am talking about the isolation. Think about it. After a bad breakup, you don't want to run to your homeboys and sit there and cry with your homeboys. You go lock up in a room and contemplate or get on your video game and shoot up some things. It's with women, you know, we go cry in a pillow, you know. Let's just be honest about
Yeah.
it. You know, you have to have
Hey,
that time of isolation.
Jarrell, he said make a cocoon instead of a shell.
Mm,
I got a
mm,
feeling you're gonna put that in a song.
mm.
Somebody, one of
You
us
did
gonna
say
put that
he
in a
right.
song.
You did say he right.
Man, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he.
yeah.
All right. So sorry, y'all. Got to turn off my heater. Ah. So basically, all we're really seeing is, again, be honest with yourself. Know thyself. Know when you're ready to move on. Don't leap if you're not ready. You know, if you're still hung up on an ex or a past love or the brokenness of a past relationship, don't move on.
Well, I mean,
Don't.
you gotta move on, but
I'm
just
saying, don't
don't,
move on
yeah,
into
like
another relationship.
put,
Don't grab
okay,
somebody else up when
yeah.
you're not ready.
I'm gonna say this. This is what you have to do, and I believe this is what you have to do.
Okay.
You have to put yourself out there. You have to let people know what it is that you got going on.
Not
Because
before you're
everybody
ready.
want companionship. You just have to
But
I
not before
respect,
you're ready.
huh?
But not before you're ready.
But what, so you just gonna be like, hey man, look, now leave me alone. You just gonna be like, yeah,
No, I'm not ready.
they gonna be like, man, you know, I find you very attractive and all this is, you know, nah, just move around. Like, you don't want to deal with me.
Not at the. Be honest.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's nothing wrong with meeting people. It's nothing
Yeah,
wrong
I'm
with
not
having
saying that.
companionship. It's just that don't be sitting up here like it's just saying don't be sitting up here. Um, okay, this time it'll be different. It ain't like that because you fight with yourself every time. You fight with yourself all the time when you're going through that, and then you wanna move forward, and then you can delude. You can get into delusion and be like,
Been there.
how in the world will I ever do this if I never do this? And you know what I'm saying. So the thing
But see,
about it
this
is, if
goes
you're
back to
gonna
where we
wind
should
up,
be
yeah,
friends.
if you gonna wind up doing it, then you need to put your whole truth out there because you don't want that
That's
person
why I say
getting
be
caught up with.
friends.
Yeah, so that's why you say, man, look, let me tell you like this. I just got out of something.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm not in the headspace to
Mm-hmm.
for this right here. I don't have what you looking. I mean, like right now, I really can't give you what you looking for, and now we can get to know each other and all this.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, but don't sit up and say let's just see how it goes. You already know how it's gonna go. You gonna you already know how it's gonna go. You gonna be you gonna ask this person for a date. Y'all gonna go on this date. You're gonna be sitting at the table with your phone face down and with the ringer on off vibrate, and then you know what I'm saying, and that bad boy gonna be on your lap vibrating, and then you're gonna be trying to you really trying to concentrate on that person, but then when your phone vibrate, it's really the person that you're trying to really
Jarrell says, I'm just not easy to depression. The world is giving us a lot of excuses to accept unstable mental health.
Oh man.
I don't disagree with that at all. They
Oh
do.
man.
I don't. Oh, that's just them. Don't worry about that. No,
Oh,
I
they
don't
like that.
disagree. Yeah,
You
that's
know
just
what?
how they are.
Man, I'm trying to tell you. But yeah, so a lot of harm comes out of that, man. When people do get depressed, some people do want to some people want to be alone. Some people feel like that, or maybe
there's
some
a
people feel
healthy
like,
there's a healthy being alone though.
yeah,
There is a
there's a
healthy being
healthy being
alone.
alone. And
But then
then
there's the ones that hide from the world and they're dealing with the depression and you don't know. So that's a whole nother subject there. And if you're a real friend to someone and you see that they're behaving in a manner in which that is not what you're used to, reach out.
mhm.
Reach out.
And then stay out stay out of people's inbox. When stay out of people's inbox whenever you get done typing that message, and stay out of people's inbox when you get done typing that message that you want them to see, but in the back of your head you hoping that this person get in your inbox to tell you what you want to hear.
Mm. Did I hear shots fired?
No, you ain't
Okay.
hit no shots. But I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it. I've done it. So it's like, you have to, before, you have to, you got to be mindful of what it is that you carry around, man. That's called growth, and it's called
Hey,
maturity. It's,
when we
it's,
when we brought up this topic, there was a reason you brought this to my attention.
what's that?
I don't know. I'm asking you. Now there was a song that we were talking about.
Okay.
Um, if you can't, what it says, love the one. If you can't be with the one you want, love the one you with. That's how we came up with this
Mm-hmm.
topic. If you can't be with the one you want, love the one you with. And I think my comment to that was another song, Betty Wright. Having a piece of man
Piece
is
of
better than
person is
having
better
no
than not
man
have
at
one at all. Like, I
all.
think, those were like you had to really listen to them, because if you
Mhm.
take that for face value, you just gonna mess yourself up like all
Mm.
around. Because I think, like, when you listen to songs like that, and then songs like that come around, you songs like that come around, it's a circumstance that it's like basically saying, I've been there. That's the artist telling you, I've been there. Is it the
Okay.
way to go? No, it ain't. But it happens. So
Mhm.
love the one you love. If you can't be with the one, like, love the one you with.
If you can't be
What
with
is
the
it? If
one
you
you
can't be with
want,
the one
love
you
the
want,
one
love the
you
one
with.
you with.
Hmm.
Like it's like, here, let's just take this. It really ain't for you, but here, what I'm saying? Like, and
I'm gonna
then
just go
another
ahead
thing,
and
like,
park here.
yeah,
This to do.
yeah, this right here, yeah, it just close enough. Like,
Yeah.
so, but it's unfair to the other person. You know what I'm saying? Like, this person giving you their all, and they giving you, or you giving them their all, and you really ain't what they checking for, but they don't want to be alone, and they really, or the one thing I don't like, the whole, they don't want to hurt your feelings or whatever. What you think you doing? Like,
Wait, no. How is being with someone that you're not digging, not hurting their feelings? How does that work?
again, man, that's that. I call that the selfishness, dog. I call
How,
that
how
one the
I'm just
selfishness.
with this person
Cause
until
you
something
don't,
better
cause
comes
you
along.
don't, yeah,
How does
man.
that work? No, seriously, how does that work?
It
I'm just
don't.
here. I'm just here for the time being. You know, no, that's robbing that person of, like I said earlier, of the time. One, if especially if they, like some, I don't know if females are still doing this, where they map out their life where they want to be married with children and have a house at a certain. I
Yeah,
don't know if women still do all of that, but that's messing with them. Now I can really understand why there are hurt people out there.
hurt people. Yeah, we
Hurt
learned it
people.
backwards. Jarrell says this. Jarrell says, if you love someone more than the one you with, there is more than likely someone you'll love more than them that you haven't met yet. Wasn't I talking to you yesterday about the food chain?
Nah, not me.
Who was I talking? Oh, I know. Okay, it was a
Probably
friend of mine
three
I
of
was telling. Yeah, 3 of 3, and I
three of
was
three.
yeah, and I was telling, and I said it's like a food chain, man. It's always a bigger fish, or there's always something, better. That's where loyalty comes in. That's a
Mm.
topic for another show. But I get
That,
what you're saying, Jarrell.
I'm gonna write that one down. Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. Who was that? Who was
Uh,
that?
what
Kendrick
Rihanna
Lamar.
in here, Kendrick Lamar and Rihanna. It
Loyalty,
said there
loyalty,
is more
loyalty.
than likely, because it's always gonna be something better. You can't love the one you with if you don't. You can't love the one you with if you don't love them. Now you can quiet yourself, but this is where it all comes to play. When you start focusing on what it is, when you say what you need is more important than what you want,
Mm.
then it makes it a whole lot more simple, because you
Mm-hmm.
got a lot of people out here that's catering more to them wants than it
Than they
is to
are
them
to their
needs.
needs.
What it
Some
is
people
that
don't
you
know what
need.
they need.
Some people don't know what they need until what they want abuses them.
Yep.
So it's like that. That's how you get that scenario that I just got through telling you about when you get that phone call at 2 in the morning and they and then, and now it then got real and the realization that kicked in and stuff like that. So that's how it is. Some people don't realize that it's like it ain't their fault, but it's I mean, you was a kid before you was an adult. You learned how to play before you learned how to work. You know what I'm saying? Candy tastes better than food. You wanted candy.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't want to work. You wanted to
That's
play.
what they wanted, but it
That's
wasn't
what
what
you
we hated
wanted.
what our parents told us, and that was what we needed.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
what you needed, you didn't gravitate towards. And it's always the same thing. It's like this person is gonna show you what it is that you need, and but you're not gonna want them
but
because
you have
what?
to be
Maybe,
receptive to it. If you're not receptive to it, you
yeah.
you can really miss out on a life lesson.
hmm But what I'm saying? So it boils down to, like one part of attraction is that energy, man. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? That synergy is important, but it doesn't, that synergy is important, but you're not gonna get there if you just focus on everything that you figure that you want. Like
Uh-huh.
most people sit up there and they talk about like most dudes, some dudes, but I know it's the older I get, it's a different vibe. You want this woman that's a baddie, and you want this woman to like you want her to have master degrees but be able to work a pole, and you want her to be, what I'm saying, you want Megan Thee Stallion, but you want her to have a PhD, and you want her to stay out the streets, and you want somebody that don't nobody really want, because if she feel you ask, that's that Clark Kent, Bruce Wayne stuff. It don't exist. You know what I'm saying?
Like Jennings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like it don't exist. That's what you want. That's what you want. But you know what you really need. And then maybe if you go after like what you really need, then you won't be sitting up there saying all this certain stuff like, man, all women ain't this, and all men is dogs, and this and this. Because when that one person, the person that really tried to give you the security, the mental stability, the one thing that you should really want, if you read a lot of these posts that I see a lot of people put up on Facebook, this big old complaint that they have. When you get that one person that go to work, bring their behind back to the crib, and you ain't got to sleep with your eye open, with one eye open, both eyes closed, and you know what I'm saying. And then
Yeah.
you notice that if y'all have an argument, you get that one person that y'all notice y'all have an argument, and he not going upside your head. She not sitting up and calling somebody talking about if you ain't gonna do it, I know somebody who will. You know what I'm saying? Your mental stability is a lot more important than you sitting up here. Yeah, man, dog, she went out with her homegirls last night and she didn't come back till the next day and all that and
Man.
stuff like that. She said that's all she did and this and that, dog. But I love her because she got a big old booty. And she, then you be like Perfect Black. You know what I'm saying? You remember that song by Perfect Black? That's a perfect example.
Mm-mm.
Special Kind of Fool. That dude wanted her,
Mm-hmm.
but she didn't really want him. It was like,
Mm-hmm.
that dude wanted her, but she didn't really, she had something else going on. It was just something to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's detrimental for you to make sure that, it's detrimental for you to make sure that it's like, I can't do this because at the end of the day, you're not only hurting them, you're hurting yourself. What happened? I can't hear you. No. Hold up, man. Hold on. I just lost hearing you. Man, we was going a little. What's up with this thing? Yeah, man. Okay. So, basically, if y'all tuned in today, we talked about we might have to do a part two to this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's still a lot of meat on the bone, but we only got to give y'all a little hour real quick right now. But just to wrap it all up, man, it's all about making the right decision. Y'all remember, man, children make mistakes, adults make decisions. So it's all about making that decision and knowing yourself. When you know yourself, you can, you know better, you'll do better. And if you know yourself, then you ain't got to worry about, you know, doing what we talked about today. So y'all have a wonderful day, and we will see y'all next week.